Duh.
So hello guys, so welcome back to the new video. So in this video I'm going to teach about the functions in Python. So let us get into the video. So what is meant by function? A function is a reusable block of programming statements designed to perform a certain task. Suppose guys, consider a situation where you want to have something 10 lines of code and you want to execute these 10 lines of code repeatedly in your program. So if the normal person will be going to do programming, like he will be going to write the 10 lines wherever the program wants to execute. Suppose if you want to execute something 100 times, he will be going to use the 10 lines repeatedly, writing 10 lines 100 times. Instead of doing that task, there you can simply normally you can put the 10 lines into this function and you can name something name to the function and you can simply call that function in that case. So if you want to execute 100 times or 1000 times, you can simply use function name in that case instead of writing the 10 lines repeatedly. In that scenario you can go for the functions. So actually in any programming languages we have two types of functions. So what are the two types? That is inbuilt functions and you will be presenting of user defined function. So what is meant by inbuilt functions? These functions are already present in the Python with implementation. Means these are already present in the Python with the implementation part also, and to access them you need to just call that function and simply use it. Means you are not worried about the implementation part. So if it is a scenario, you can simply call that function and you can use, simply you can evaluate. So here I am listing some of the inbuilt function. As you can see, if you watch the previous videos, literally I have covered half of the built-in functions in previous videos only. So if you haven't watched the previous videos, please go back to the watch that previous video and coming to this video. So in this video I want to tell something little about the inbuilt functions, something called as max min. So we have covered append, something bool, clear, add, remove, dict, set, list, tuple in previous videos only. So now I want to discuss about this, some two or three of them. So I want to open something ideally. I want to open ideally and I want to create a new file, something I want to save it on desktop, that is Control S. I want to desktop Python codes only. I want to save it as something called functions. I'm saving. You can see now functions file has been created. So I was talking about the inbuilt functions, right? So something I have a list called something A, something you can take this as numbers also, you can name this as numbers also. Something I have a numbers and I have a random numbers, that is 2 1 6 3 8 9 something 10 something level, something 33 34 30 22 23, like this. As you can see, there is a list of numbers and I am mentioning that name as numbers. So if you want to get output as maximum value present in the list, so you can what you want to do, you will be going to, normal person will be going to use for loop and he will be going to compare each and every value like this. So it will be going to compare like 2 is greater than 1, yes it is okay, 2 1 will be going to delete, then after 2 will be compared to with 6, so which is greater 6, so 2 will be going to delete, so now will be 6 will be going to compare with 3, so like this it will be going to happen. So instead of doing this all the things, so a Python inbuilt function, something called max function is there, that is you can simply call max and I'm calling in that argument, in the brackets I am passing, you can call parenthesis. So in the parenthesis I am just calling the my object. What is my object? That is list. So what is the list object name? That is numbers, right? So I am passing that numbers in my list as a list to the max function. So it will be going to evaluate each and every value and it will be going to denote, display the output as maximum value present in the list. So what is the maximum value present in my list? That is 34, right? So whenever I try to print this maximum of numbers, it will be going to print 34 as output. So when I run this program, you can see 34 has been printed as output. So you can use min also. min will be going to print minimum value present in the list. So what is the minimum value present in the list? That is 1. So 1 will be going to print as output like this. Okay, that is the use of max and min, that is inbuilt function. It will be going very efficient because you are not focusing about the implementation part, declaration part, return value, like this. All this stuff will be going to take care is like it will be going to take care Python interpreter only. Just you can call the function and you can do evaluation. So I'm calling function like this and I'm passing numbers. It will be going to display the result like this. So that is the use of inbuilt functions. It will be very easy. And what is meant by user defined function? So these functions are created by the user only. So as we will be creating as per our scenario where it can be used, and must use def keyword to declare the function and also provide implementation. So in previous max or min function, you are not focusing about the any def keyword also you are not seeing, and you are not providing any implementation also. But in the coming to the user defined function, you must specify with a def. If you want to create a function, you must specify def keyword and you must specify implementation part also. So how can we create a function? Let us see. So you can create a function by using this syntax, and here I have given a description about this function. Okay, so how can we create a function? Let us see. Suppose I want to create a function name called intents. So how can we create that function? So to simply create that function, you must use def keyword like this, def, and after writing def, you can please press give a space between them, and after writing def, you must specify function name. So what is my function name? My function name is called as intents. I want to name it as intents. After writing function name, you must use round parenthesis like this, and after writing round parenthesis, you must specify colon. After hitting enter, you can see now block has been changed, indent block. Means whatever you write code inside the intents, it will be going to take as a intents function only. So it will be considered under the intents function only. So after writing this, you must specify, it is optional guys, so something called docstring. This is called as docstring. So whatever you mention in these triple quotes, that will be going to description of that function. Okay, whatever you are specifying in the docstring. So whenever you try to print something help function, it will be going to print the description. What it is, let me tell. Suppose I want to give a description of my function. This is my user created function. User created function. I'm writing something description about my function, and in this function I am writing something print statement, that is this print statement present in intents, or else you can simply called I am inside intents, something I am inside the intents function. Okay, I'm writing this print statement. As you can see, I am simply creating a def keyword, and I'm creating my function name, that is intents, and I'm creating something like this brown brackets and colon. After hitting enter, the automatically block will be going to it will be going to ignore into the white spaces and coming to the indent block. And after that, I am mentioning a docstring. This is optional, you can specify or else you cannot, as per your use. So I'm mentioning here docstring, and I am printing a statement in the function. So when I run this program, you can see there is nothing has been printed on the output screen. As you can see, let me zoom it. So you can see there is nothing on the output screen, as you can see. So why it is not printing this? I am inside the intents function like this, because you are simply created a function and you are not calling your function. So if I call something my function, that is intents, as you can see, now I am calling my function. What is my function name? That is intents, right? So that's why I am calling my function name as intents. So whenever run this program, you can see now our program has been executed successfully, and it is showing the output, that is I am inside the intents function. So why it is not displaying this? Because this is, as I said, this is the description of the my function, right? So if you want to display that, you must use something called help function, that is help of. So you must specify in the helper, that is a function name. What is my function name? That is intents, right? You must specify intents name like this. So whenever I run this program, you can see it is telling that help on function intents in module main. It is present under the main module, and you can see something my function name. This is my user created function. It is the description of this function. Okay, so in previous case I was using about the max, right? So I want to delete this max, I mean intents, and now I am writing max. Max is also called as inbuilt function, right? So whenever I use help function, when I try to print, I mean when I try to run the output, you can see there is a lot of description about the max function. So you can see help on built-in function. It is telling that. So in the previous case, my function was intents, that is the help on function intents in module main. So here it is telling that built-in function. Automatically it is recognizing that max is belong to the built-in function, and it is telling the description of that function, means what it will be going to accept and what it will be going to return in the value. So this is the lot description about the max function. Like this, the help function will be going to use. So it is optional, right? I am deleting. So as per your use, you can use docstring, or else you can also ignore it. So that is the use of the docstring, means it will be going to simply description of the function. So you can go through this passage also. You can pause the video, you can see. That was I am telling with an example. So coming to the next part, that is function argument. As you can see guys, in my function there is nothing I am mentioning, because here 0 arguments are accepting. So what is meant by function arguments means information can be passed into function as arguments, means arguments are specified after the function name inside the parenthesis, where the arguments are present after the function name inside the parenthesis, like this. In this gap only the function parameters, that is you can call as arguments, are passed. So how can we passed? Means you can add as many arguments as you want, just to separate them with a comma. Suppose I want to show an example. So my function accepts a single argument, that is name, okay, and something I want to delete this. So I am writing that hello, and I want to display name, right? So okay, like this. So now you can see in previous example I was nothing in my arguments list. So in this function I am passing one argument, that is name, and I want to try to print hello, and also with some space and my name. What name which you want to pass? The suppose I want to pass something called intents, like this. As you can see guys, I am just calling my function with an argument, that is intents. So whenever I try to run this program, you can see it will be going to print as hello intents. Why it is printing hello intents? Because when I am calling intents function, so it will be going to call the intents function. In the intents function, it will be going to accept one argument. What is that argument? Name argument. So name will be consisting, the value consist of intents. So whenever this statement executes, it will be going to print hello. After printing hello, what is the name value that function got? That is intents. So that is why it will be going to print as hello intents, like this. Okay. So you can consist of only, I am not telling that a function will be going to accept only one argument. It may be consisting of n number of arguments. If it is consisting of more than one, you must specify a comma, like this. So I want to specify something age also, something salary also. Yeah, I want to display the name, salary also. Print my age is comma age, and after that I am printing another print statement also, salary. My salary is, and comma salary. So like this guys, I am passing intents. I want to change the name to something Vinay, and age I am passing something called 23, and I am passing something salary as 10,000, like this. As you can see guys, just I am doing small things. See, my function consisting of now 3 arguments. First argument is name, I am passing name. After that my argument consisting of age, I am passing age, and after that salary I am passing salary of 10,000. Okay. So I am whenever I try to call this function, it will be going to evaluate this function, and it will be going to print suppose like hello. What is the name? Vinay, right? Hello Vinay will be going to print. My age is something age, what it is? 23. My age is 23 will be going to print. My salary is salary, right? Salary, what the value? That is 10,000. So whenever I run this program, you can see hello Vinay, my age is 23, my salary is 10,000. It will be going to print exactly what it is. So that is the function arguments and number of arguments. By default, a function must be called with the correct number of arguments, meaning that if your function accepts 2 arguments, you have to call the function with 2 arguments, not more and not less. What it is, let me show. So my function is accepting 3 arguments, right? Whenever I pass a 4th argument, suppose I'm passing another name. As you can see, I'm passing something called David. So you can see now I am passing another name, 4th argument. So initially our function accepts only 3 arguments, right? I am passing 4th arguments also. So in that scenario, when I run this program, you can see there is an error because it is telling the type error, because instance function, that is instance function, takes 3 positional arguments but 4 were given. Means it is telling that instance function will be going to accept exactly 3 elements, 3 values only, but you have mentioned 4th value also. So to avoid that error, means you can simply ignore, delete that, and you can run. Now it will be going to work fine. So if you want to run perfectly, what the arguments are specified, how many, suppose 3 specified, means 3 arguments only you must specify in the calling function also. If at all you mention more or less than also, it will be going to throw error. Suppose I want to delete something 10,000 and I am passing only 2, but our function accepts 3, right? So I am passing only 2. So in that case also it will be going to show error, because it is telling that instance function missing one required positional argument, that is salary. So we have provided only name and age also, and salary is not given. That is why it is telling that there is a missing. So when I run this right now, so it will be going to work very fine, because we have given 3 and we have mentioned 3 only. So that is the use of the number of arguments. You must stay focused in the number of arguments also. So now what is the arbitrary arguments, that is star arguments. If you do not know how many arguments that will be passed into your function, so add a single star before the parameter name in the function definition. It is telling that simply, if you do not know how many arguments present in your function, so in that case you can go for this star and you can specify any names like this names. Okay, so I am deleting this and also deleting this like this. So if you don't want to, if you are not knowing how many arguments present in your function, in that case you can go for this star. So what is meant by here names, it will be going to take as tuple. As you can see, this way the function will receive a tuple of arguments and can access the items accordingly. So whenever you are using single star, it will be going to accept as a tuple values. What is the tuple name? So whatever you mention here, that will be going to take as a tuple name. So if I mention names, the tuple name is names. So if I mention something n, the tuple name is n. If I mention something called m only, it will be going to take tuple name as m. So what is the tuple name? M. So I want to specify something here, Vinay, something John, something called David. You can see, I don't know how many arguments will my function accepts or how many arguments will present. So in that case I can go through this example. So this is the Vinay, John, David. The tuple name is what? M. So M consisting of what values? Vinay, John, David will be consisting. Okay, so this is the use. Means I don't know how many arguments present in my function, so I am passing here three values. So now inside backgroundly our Python interpreter will be doing like this, something called, I am commenting. So interpreter will be doing something like this, guys. Yeah, whenever I print something, I am calling this function as this values. So I am specifying m, right? So my tuple name is m. That is why m equal to something, tuple values are initialized like this. So suppose I want to change m to the something called names. So it will be going to change this m to the names like this. It will be going to happen background. Okay. So when I try to something evaluate my print, my function intents, I want to print something called first person name is what is the first person name? We have in the list, in the tuple Vinay, right? So what is the index of the Vinay? So it is called as 0. Means it will be going to start from 0, and this is 1 and this is 2, right? So what is the first person name is? That is 0. It means it will be going to present at the 0th index. So how can you call, what is the tuple name? So tuple name is names, right? So I am calling names and I want to specify the value. What value? Vinay. So where it is present, where it is present at the index of 0. So I am calling 0th index. So whenever I try to run this program, Yeah, whenever I try to run this program, you can see first person name is Vinay. Okay, and I want to something called, I want to display David. So what is the position of David? 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So whenever I want to position of David, you can pass simply 2, and you can run the output. You can see first person, I mean something called first person name is David. Actually it is not presented the first person, so it is called, let me change, that is third person name is David, as you can see. So if at all I pass 3, not 3, if at all I pass a fourth argument, something called something called Dean, and also I'm running. Now you can see there is no, I mean there is no change in the output. It is going to print as usual. So if at all I delete the something called this Vinay also, this Vinay also, I'm running. As you can see, the third person name is Dean. So in previous case, when I am deleting or adding the extra arguments, it is going to throw error, right? So in this now situation, it is not throwing error because you are not focusing on the how many arguments present in the tuple. You are simply focusing on the values only. So if it is consisting of more or less, then it will be not happening any error. So if try something, my tuple consisting of 3 values, right? So whenever I try to consisting of fourth value, that is 3. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. The 3 value is not present, right? So in that case only it will be going to occur an error because it is a tuple index out of range, means the value is not present in the tuple. So in that case only it will be going to throw error. So that is the main thing. So the main agenda behind this star arguments and previous example is that in previous example, if your function accepting 3 arguments, you must exactly specify 3 arguments only. If at all to avoid the error, in that case you can go for this method. This method is called as star arguments. Simply you can call as star arguments like this. Yeah. And keyword arguments. What is meant by keyword arguments? You can also send arguments with the key equal to value syntax. This way the order of the arguments does not matter. So I want to tell another thing also. Yeah. So whenever you run this program, the order of the program will be going to pass. Means this John, David, Dean exactly will be going to pass like this only. So let me add another value, something Vinay only. So I want to tell you one thing, that is so whenever I am calling my function with these values like this, so first value is Vinay, right? Then second value is John, right? Third value is David, then fourth value is Dean, right? So these names only will be going to order in this way only. First Vinay only called, then John, then David, then Dean. After that only all the values will be called something like this. Yeah. So it is will be not means suppose I am passing something 0. So what is the 0th index Vinay, right? So it will be not going to take random value, means I am passing in this order only. The function will be calling also in this order only. So that is the main thing in the star keywords names. So in the next topic, that is keyword arguments, you must specify as key equal to value. So what it is, let me tell. Yeah, I want to take same example only. I am taking something called name 1 equal to Vinay and name 2 equal to something John and name 3 equal to something David. Let me delete this. Yeah, and also let me delete this. This was in previous case, right? That is star keywords. I want to specify that also. Star arguments something. Yeah. So see guys, I'm telling another key equal to value syntax. How it will be going to work means it will be going to take a name 1 equal to Vinay and name 2 equal to John and name 3 equal to David. So I'm passing star names. What is the star names? I mean, let me delete this. Now I'm passing what is the key value syntax. This is called as key and this is called as value, and this is called as key and this is called as value. This is called as key and this is called as value. Okay, and in that function call you must specify the key names. What are the key names we have present? We have present name 1 comma name 2 and comma name 3. Now you can see I'm changing this name 1 to something 3, this something 1, this is 2. So in previous example I am telling that the order what you are order mentioning, this order only, that will be going to take in the function call also. But in this situation you can see I am telling that name3 equal to Vinay, means in the name3 the Vinay value is stored, in name1 the John value is stored, in the name2 the David value is stored. So here I am calling name1, name2, name3. So what is the name1? So John will be stored in the first one, like this, John will be stored here. But in the function call you are mentioning Vinay, right? So Vinay will be get replaced with the John. So first value will be going to John. So what is the name to? Name to presented something called David. So here David will be going to print, I mean it's stored. So what is the name 3? So name 3 value consisting of Vinay. So Vinay will be going to store here. So I want to change something this to, yeah, hello first person. What is the first person? That is name1, right? Name1. So when I run this you can see hello first person John. So what is the first person? So actually in function call it was the first person is Vinay, but when you are specifying name1, name2, name3, this order only taken. So what is the name1 first person? That is something called John. So that is why it is going to print hello first person John. So if at all I want to change the first person to the something second, so what value I must specify here? And that is name2, right? So actually in the name2, in the function call, name2 will be specified like this. It will be going to print, normally it want to print John, but instead of that you are passing like these values, right? So what is the name2? It will be going to name2, and name2 is called as David. So David will be going to print like this. You can see hello second person David. Like this key value syntax will be working, means you are specifying in the function call only, key values like this, name3, name1, name2. Okay, coming to the next topic, that is arbitrary keyword arguments, means star keywords arguments. Actually this is also very similar to the previous case only. So in the star arguments you are not specifying how many arguments present, so in that case you are going for the star arguments. So in key value arguments also you are not focusing how many key value statements are present in your function. Suppose here I am mentioning something 3, right? So I don't know how many arguments it will be going to accept. So if at all, in that case you must go for using of this keyword arguments, that is star. If you do not know how many keyword arguments that will be passed into your function, add 2 asterisk before the parameter name in the function definition. This way the function will receive a dictionary of arguments and access the items accordingly. So in star arguments it will be going to take values as the tuples. So but in the something called star arguments it will be going to take values as dictionary. So let me take names only, that dictionary. So in the function call I am mentioning star. So whatever you are specifying name, that will be going to take a dictionary name. So I am specifying names only. So what is my dictionary name right now? That is names, right? So it will be going to create a dictionary like this. Creating dictionary, it will be going to create a key value pair. What is key value pair? First it will be going to print take this key value pair like this. So like this, yeah, like this. So here it will be going to take as a key value pair like this. Both are of the string type only. Yeah. So whenever you do this line, it will be going to Python interpreter automatically going to do this background. Okay. And after creating this, it will be going to, means this is the case under the star arguments, right? And it will be going to accept as dictionary values, dict. Okay, yeah, like this. If I want to display the output of the second person, so how can I do that? So now if I try to name2, it will be going to throw error. As you can see, name2 is not defined. So why it is telling name2 is not defined? Because our instance function will be taking dictionary values. So what it is dictionary values? That is names. So where the name2 is stored, something here. What is the key value presented the name2? That is David. So to display the David, you must specify dictionary name. First you want to call your dictionary. What is our dictionary? That is names. So that is names. And how to display the output David. So you can use key concept. So how can you use? You can use square brackets and you can simply called key present. So what is key present? That is a name to, right? Okay, yeah, like this. So if you want to display David as an output, you must call a dictionary function. So where it is present at the key present, name to it is going to present. So you are calling your dictionary as names, and in the square brackets you are mentioning key value. I mean that is key. What the key is, key name, that is name to. So whenever you try to print, you can see hello second person, that is going to print David. Okay, like this it will be going to work. So after, if I want to change something name to the name one, it will be going to print as John. So whenever you run this program, you can see hello second person John is going to print. Like this it will be going to work. So if at all I mention another value also, something called name for also, name for something intense also, it will be going to work very fine, because you are not bothered about the how many arguments you are passing. It will be going to do nothing. So it will be going to just creating an dictionary values, how many arguments you are passing, it will be going to take that values and it will be going to create a dictionary as a key value pair. So whenever you want to access the values, you cannot go through with the key and it will be going to print a value. Okay, like that it will be going to work. So but instead of to avoid error, you can go for the star arguments or star arguments as per your scenario. So the main thing I want to tell you about the functions, that means actually function arguments accept exactly how many number of arguments you are specified. So if you specify 2, it will be going to accept only 2 arguments, not more not less. So if you are specifying more than 2, if it will going to definitely throw error. So in that case, if you don't know about how many arguments, you can go through for the star arguments, or if the scenario is called something keyword argument, so in that case also you can go for that star keyword arguments. So some main thing is star keywords will be going to take as tuple values, and here it will be going to take as a dictionary values. So remember that one point, star arguments will be consisting of tuple values. It will going to take values as a tuples, and star arguments will be taking a values as dictionary values. So main thing, remember that. So coming to the next part, what is mean by default parameter value? Means if you call the function without argument, it uses the default value. What it is, let me show with an example. I'm deleting whole the thing. I have a function called def. I'm creating function that is intense only, and I'm opening parenthesis and I'm creating colon and I'm writing something print statement, and something I'm writing my name is something, I'm printing name also. And see guys, in an original function declaration, I am passing an argument something called name equal to something I am passing Vinay, like this. Okay, and I am calling my function that is intense, and I am passing, because our argument, our function will be going to accept one argument, right? So I am passing one argument. What argument I am passing? Another name, that is David. So when I run this program, you can see it will be going to call firstly as I am calling intense function, right? It will be going to call intense function. So in intense function I have specified one argument, right? What argument? That is David, that is name, right? So in the name value, that David will be going to store. So Vinay will be going to replace with David, like this. So this David will be going to replace this Vinay, like this. It will be going to delete Vinay and David will be going to replace in the name. So what is the value present in the name exactly right now? David. So whenever you try to print my name is, that is name, what the name value consisting of David. So that is why it will be going to display as my name is David. So if I remove this David, so when I run this program, initially it was throwing an error, because our function will be going to accept one argument. So if at all I am passing nothing argument, it will be going to throw error, right? So in this case now it will be not throwing an error, because I am mentioning default value, that is name. So when I run this, you can see my name is Vinay. Means exactly what it is telling means, if you are not specifying the argument value, so default it will be going to take. What is the default value present of the name? That is Vinay. So if at all you are not mentioning any arguments, it will be going to take as default value. What the default value is present? That is Vinay. So I want to show parallelly. So I want to display something John. So as you can see guys, I'm using two print statement after the function. I'm using two functions calls. In first function call I am passing value, that is name, that is John. In second function call I am passing nothing. So what will happen, you see. So when I run this program, you can see my name is John has been printed, then my name is Vinay. So why it is printing my name is John and then Vinay? First it was printing John because you are specifying and value. So when you are specifying value, this value will be get ignored and this value will be going to accept. And when you are not specifying any value, the default value will be going to select. That is the main thing I want to tell about the default value. So I want to tell another value also, another thing also, like as you can see something. Yeah, in this syntax you are seeing something called return statement, right? So I forgot about that return function, so I want to tell that also. Suppose guys I have a function, I am naming that function name as something called addition, something addition, and it will be accepting two variables, that is a comma b, and I'm putting colon and hitting enter, and I want to my addition function will be going to print sum of the two elements, that is a plus b. So how can I do that? Simply you can take another variable c equal to a plus b, and I am trying to print something addition is, yeah, addition is comma c. Means I am declaring a function called addition. I am passing two arguments, and two arguments will be going to added, and that value will be going to stored in C variable. I am trying to print this statement, and whenever I try to call something called my my function, that is addition, you must call function name, and I am passing two values. So if at all you pass one value, it will going to throw error, because it will be going to throw error as type error, because addition function that is missing one required positional argument b. So you are specifying only a value, that is why it will going to throw error. So I am specifying another value also 23. So now it will be going to work fine. It will be going to throw, it will be going to show the output, that is addition is something called 24. As you can see, addition is 24 has been displayed as the output, because you are specifying exactly two arguments, and your function is also accepting two arguments. So if at all you are mention any another argument, something another argument, that is 23 extra, now you can see it will be going to throw error again. So it is telling that addition function takes two positional arguments, but three were given. Initially it was taking only two, but you are giving three, that's why it will going to throw error. So to avoid that, you can simply pass two arguments only. So this is a normal thing. So instead of doing this also, you can do something called, you can use return also. Return, what I want to return, the sum of the two arguments, right? So what are the two arguments? That is a plus b. I want to return. So whenever I run this program, you can see nothing has been printed on the output. Means why it is going to print nothing? Because just you are performing an addition and you are returning it. Where you are returning it, I don't know. So if you use something print function, the return value will be going to print. So this addition 1,23 will be going to call this function, and a plus b be performed, that is 23 plus 1 will be going to add, then 24 will be, it will be going to return. That return value will be stored in this argument, and print function will be going to print that return value. So when I run this, you can see 24 has been printed. So if your function consisting of return statement, to see the output you must use print function, or else you can simply do like this also. Let me delete this. Yeah, so this line will be going to return what value? 24 value, right? I am storing the 24 value something called in C variable, something C equal to addition 1,23. This value will, this line will be going to return an value called 24. The 24 value will be going to print stored in the variable called C. So I want to display the C. So what it is? Let me run 24. As like you can also do like this also. That is the doing a return statement. So you can also pass and list to the function also. Means you can pass list, tuple, dictionary, anything to the function call also.